Okay, so all right.
Hi, you guys. How are you?
We're very, very good. We're sitting at our house in England.
Nice.
Brandy and her family are staying with us, which is always great. And we're finally starting promotion on this record, which has been a long time coming out. Due to,
Yay.
it's really exciting because we love this record so much.
So fantastic. And congrats on your Oscar nomination for
Thank you very much.
yeah, are you going to dress in matching outfits?
I
Sorry.
would. I would
Yeah.
dress like him any day. I have been since I was.
Well, it's easy for her because she never wears a dress.
Yeah.
So I do. I do. Yeah, I will be wearing a dress in the Oscars. Yeah. Anyway, thrilled to have an Oscar nomination. It's very exciting for all four of us. Doesn't happen very often, but this is my fifth nomination. The first time I had three in 1 year for The Lion King,
Mm,
and then I had one for the Rocket Man's film, and now one for
mhm.
this. So we're keeping our
Oh,
fingers crossed.
phenomenal. Oh, so great. And Elton, you have been through so much. Brandy calls you the Iron Man. You have such resilience. What would you say to those listening who are going through a tough time? We need some Elton encouragement.
What would I what
What
say to
would you
someone?
say to folks that are going through a tough time since you're so tough?
Oh, it's things always look as terrible, when you're down, when it's like an avalanche goes off in your head and comes down, you don't think you can ever get through it. You just have to have a little faith, and that one day is not the next day. The next day can be totally different. Reach out. Reach out to people.
Mhm.
Don't sit there alone in your own head and think about it because it'll only get worse. Just phone somebody, meet somebody for dinner, talk to them about it, and it helps so much to
Mm,
ask for help. That's why I was a drug addict for so long, and when I asked for help, my whole life changed. Those three
Yeah,
words: I need help. Bang.
I need
Oh yeah,
help.
why didn't I get that earlier? So yeah, reach out to people.
amazing
That's
advice.
amazing advice. And Brandy, what is it like having Elton as your good, close friend, soulmate?
Well, I mean, you just heard it. He's an incredibly soulful person, and
Yeah.
he's nurturing, and he's always got his finger on the pulse of what's new, what's forward, what's ahead of us. He doesn't dwell in the past. He's just inspiring to be around. He's an endless source of energy, and just he astounds me every day and in a new way.
And she's very much like me. She's astounding energy. She's a positive force. Mostly always bouncy, always talking about new things, songs she's written. And that rubs off on, we both rub off on each other really, really well. And that happened the first time I met Brandy. She came to Las Vegas because she asked me if I would play on a song. And I said yes because I'd heard of her. And she came to Vegas. But before I even played on the song, like we clicked immediately. It's just like we were long lost brother and sister or something. And
No.
since then, our friendship has grown and grown and grown to the fact now we both have families and our families spend time together. And it's the greatest thing you could ever ask for. I mean, it's kismet, it's wondrous, and it's real, which is fantastic.
And it's priceless. You can't buy something like that at all, meant to be. Okay,
Of
so
course,
this is your world premiere here on iHeart. Tell the world what you've created.
we made an album called Who Believes in Angels, and it's a culmination of four people coming together in the only time and space that it ever could have happened in. And to me, that's a true album, a documentation of a moment that is kind of undeniable. It's really mystical. It's musically beautiful. Elton wrote almost all of the music. I wrote a good chunk of the lyrics. Bernie Taupin wrote some lyrics. And we just had an incredible time making an album
Yeah.
that felt otherworldly to us.
It happened about 3 months after Glastonbury and the end of my world tour when I come off the
Hmm.
road. And I had it in, it wasn't, oh, let's do an album now. It was in the book. We're going to do an album because I wanted to bottle the energy from the tour into making this record.
Mm.
Because I wanted to shift gears and I wanted to shift her gears and I wanted to shift my gears. But when it
Hmm.
actually came to the process of doing it, I was very tired. I wasn't feeling very well and I was grumpy. And so
Hmm.
the initial process was difficult, as there were four people involved. And mostly it was my fault because I just was being unreasonable. And I was really worried about the album. I had a lot of self-doubt. Now, you may not
Oh,
believe that, but I had a lot
yeah.
of self because I knew what I wanted this album to be. But you can't say, when you say that, you can't guarantee what an album's going to sound like. But when we got over the first few days and I calmed down, the process flew, and it was one of the most joyous, most exhilarating processes I've ever had in my life.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Ended up exactly how I wanted it to be and more.
Who believes in angels? Now, Elton, do you have signs from any of your angels? Brandy, I would like to ask you the same.
Do I have signs from any of my angels?
Yes.
The biggest sign I've ever gotten from any angel ever was that I got to make this album with Elton John. You know,
Hmm.
I've loved Elton John since I was 11 years old, and Bernie Taupin, and they're the reason why I ever picked up an instrument or wrote a song. So for me to be at this point in my life and have gotten to make an album with my absolute hero, that's as much of a sign from an angel as I could possibly ask for.
That we're together and we came together as friends and artists. I couldn't be happier. I made a record with Leon Russell, who was my idol, and I got to do that for him. I was Brandy's idol, and she got to make this record with me. So it's kind of like I did one thing, and now this is the other way, the other at the other end of the spectrum. But they were both fantastic experiences, and I just know how brilliant she is. I wanted to push her further
Hmm.
because there's no other greater female artist in the world than she is.
I'm proud to say I'm part of the Bramley, so I love your text updates all the time, and the Rocket Club, Elton, too. I love the way that you are both so involved with your fans, and the way there's just a connection, not only between the two of you, but between the people who love what you do and support you and follow you and and buy your music and love your music. So thank you both for having a lot of heart, is what I'm trying to say.
Ah, thank you. And it's
Thank you.
very important to thank those people because we wouldn't be here without them.
That's for
And,
sure.
Mhm.
as we're both so interested in doing new creative stuff, it's important to let them know what's going on.
Well, this is at the world premiere. Who Believes in Angels? Brandy Carlisle. Thank you so much, Elton. Love you. And thank you guys both. Uh, they're calling you music's sweetest duo.
Oh,
Thank
really?
you.
How much?
Bye,
Bye.
Ellen.